Yeah, but a lot of times, especially with that, like you said earlier, um, sometimes people don't be thinking like that. Sometimes some people don't think like that, and they get all in their fifis, and it just be like, what's going on? How are we, how are you doing it? But then you know, I don't know. What about you, Miss Sum Sum? How you doing, by the way?
Hey guys, how's it going? Uh, I don't.
Miss Sum Sum, you there?
Can you hear me?
Can't hear
Hello.
can't hear you.
I can hear her. I hear
Um,
her fine, and something going on with you.
Uh-oh.
I didn't mean it like that.
No, yes.
okay,
So
might have
I
been
just.
on me.
Can you hear me? Uh-oh.
Can anybody hear me?
Yeah, we can
Yeah,
hear
we
you.
can hear you.
Can you hear us?
How about now? Can anybody hear me?
We can hear We you.
Yes,
can hear you.
we can hear
Okay.
you.
Oh, you forgot to feed the squirrels, huh?
Yeah, no, no, yeah, it was operator error. I apologize.
Right. Um, in reference to this topic tonight, I am also at a loss for words. I just find the whole thing disgusting. Um, There are better ways to make money, get a job, stop scamming people, ruining people's lives. I mean, that was real low down. And I don't know what I would do to my child if I found out that she did this. I'd probably go off. And then for my son, if he even approached me and told me that somebody was pregnant, the first thing we're going to do is get a blood test. That's number one. We not even weeks and days and minutes, hours or seconds going by. We gonna rule that out right away, and then from there, then we'll know how to proceed. But there will be no scamming and showing a picture of a baby and saying that it's yours and all that. We not falling for the okey doke. We just not doing it.
Well, but the thing is, if you raise your children to be respectful and decent, a lot of times they will get caught up because a lot of people raise kids and they green, and that could be an issue because when you're green, you don't see the world like other people, and smooth talkers get away, whether they're male or female, they get away with that.
Well, all I know is he could be green, blue, yellow, orange, purple, whatever. But if he tells me he's going to have if he's telling me that he's getting ready to have a baby, I'm now involved. So he could be green all he want and try to do the right thing, which is great and admirable and everything like that. But that's where mama steps in and takes over and tries to sort out what's going on. His parents, her parents, everybody getting involved. It-
But but a lot of times, and I hate to say this, especially in our community, is that there are a lot of there are a lot of young and not so young women who will have a child and really don't know the father, but they go by hope, or they know who they got pregnant by, but they push it on another person that they know that'll be a better father. Because hell, every there's plenty of stories of women who would sleep with a guy but wouldn't marry him or wouldn't think he make a good father. So it's not, I'm not blaming it totally on the guy, but he did get caught out there. Miss Kim, what do you think about that? What would your daughters if your daughters did something like that? Well, I know Officer Spells is not going to do anything like that because
No.
she 12.
Yeah. I don't think they would. I really don't think they would even try because I've always, even when they were like 12, 13 years old, we've always had that discussion about teen pregnancy and stuff like that. But if one of them did try that, I'm like, Summer, I'm calling supposedly baby daddy, his parents, we all getting together. We having DNA tests to see, what's what. There is not going to be any scamming going on under my roof when they were that age. So I can't even wrap. That's why it was hard for me to wrap my head around that because we've always had that conversation and I always was up in their business. So I just can't imagine going through something like that and then my child being charged with fraud, and having to have to
So
be on probation or go to jail or whatever it may be.
so Apple, um, why do you think that a young lady would do that?
For the money, she was just straight scamming. Some people are just rotten to the core. Now I'm gonna think, and I had a chance to think about it. A lot of young men, and unfortunately, especially in our community, didn't grow up with fathers, so they vowed to themselves if they ever became a father, they were going to be the best father they can be. So maybe
Right.
that's what was on this young man's mind. Okay, she said it's my baby. I'm gonna believe her, and I'm gonna take care of the baby. And she took advantage of that.
Oh,
I don't know who raised her, but if
she
it was
looked. I
my daughter,
mean, I saw the
I
pictures, and she didn't look like she was in the streets though. That's
Yeah,
what I
but
kind
that
I
of
don't
saw
mean
the
think.
that
picture
she,
too.
that just because she doesn't look like she is from the streets or in the streets, that doesn't mean that she is a good person.
Yeah,
Right.
that's true.
And somewhere somebody failed her. But then again, maybe she's a sociopath because who would do that?
And
I
she
know me
probably
as a
wanted,
mother of a daughter and of two sons, I would no, I would make my daughter come clean before all of this mess, or I would turn her in because you weren't raised like that. And imagine someone doing that to your brothers.
But
Imagine.
yeah, but you gotta.
It just I mean I don't know either party, and it just is not sitting right with me. Whew,
right?
I can't imagine as a mother that one of my children would be that low down. And I try not to judge, but I'm judging harshly right now
Oh, I.
because
Hey,
there's no excuse for it. I don't care if you are desperate for money. Get on a stripper pole if you I don't know. That's an honorable profession. You don't have to scam this young man out of 7,000 hard-earned American dollars because you lazy.
yeah, pretty much.
And she probably did it just to see if she can get the boy back. They probably was broken up and she wanted him, some females do things just to see if I could get him back in my
But
life.
that's
I had,
still it
And you
still
know
ain't
what's
right
funny?
though.
This shows that she has some type of brain, some type of smarts, because this is something an average person wouldn't think of doing. This you have to
no,
be a diabolical genius, a evil genius to think of a scam like that. I mean, who would think of that? I'm gonna take my
somebody
first
with a
baby
lot of
and
time
pose
on
it.
their hand.
Oh, child, Lord forgive me.
Well, what I got up, and I don't know, the sound might not be good, but this is the video of the, as you can see, the young lady's not bad looking, but she's like 18. Let me see if it'll play. Oh gosh, wrong one.
and as bad as it gets. This 18-year-old woman was arrested and charged with theft by deception for collecting child support on a child that was not hers.
Well, this is a pretty bizarre child support scam, and it was uncovered in Coweta County. Deputies there tell us a woman swindled $7,000 from her ex-boyfriend.
The Georgia teen has been arrested for allegedly scamming her ex-boyfriend out of thousands of dollars by falsely claiming that she was pregnant with his child.
Hey, good afternoon, Tom. You know, it's not unusual for someone to bilk an ex out of child support payments. That's happened before. It was not a good New Year's Eve for 18-year-old Bria Hardy. She was taken into custody here at the sheriff's office and charged with theft by deception.
The Coweta County Sheriff's Office said that an investigation into the matter was launched in early December 2025 after the alleged victim contacted the Criminal Investigations Unit to report a suspected scam.
We're told her.
Well, that's the gist of it. That's the
boyfriend came up.
Wow.
And you know what's the sad part? That it's going to affect him for the rest of his life. So if he does get into another legitimate relationship and they happen to have, relations and get pregnant, he's not going to believe anything. One, he's not going to believe they're pregnant. He's going to want to see a blood pregnancy test, and then he's going to want an amnio done. He's going to want everything.
Yeah, but you can get a lot of that stuff faked on the internet.
No, he's going to want to be there in person, front and center. He want to hold the speculum. He wanted to see it. He's going to want to see it. Whatever woman that he ends up with is going to have to deal with a lot of baggage, is my point. It's going to have to deal with a lot of mess because of what this one child, did to this young man.
Oh, I agree 100%.
Evil, misguided little girl.
I agree 100%. But that was just, when I heard that today, I was just flabbergasted. That's why I brought it up, because it was like I couldn't believe that. Now, here's a follow-on question. Do you know anybody in your family or friends who got hemmed up like that had a child that they found out wasn't theirs, or put a baby on somebody?
Yeah.
What was the story?
Technically, he was in a relationship, friend of mine, and they had a baby. Then, like maybe a year later, she was pregnant again. They broke up. Well, she had another baby. They broke up, and she put child support on him. And the second child, he wasn't quite sure, but she said it was his. Come to find out, long story short, the baby was not his. The second baby was not his. It actually was her. She worked in a prison, and it was her supervisor that got her pregnant. And while working, and she put it on the then boyfriend. And this happened in Atlanta. He paid child support for both children during that time before he found out the second baby wasn't his. Wound up becoming homeless because the child support was so high for the two babies. After he got the DNA for both kids, like I said, the second one wasn't his. Went to court. But this judge would not make her give him the money back. The judge was like, "Oh well." In that case,
but he didn't have to pay for that second child.
No, he didn't have to pay for that second child. But she wound up losing her job because she was a correctional officer, and the man that she was pregnant for with the second child was also married, and he lost his job as well.
Oh, most definitely. He should have lost his job first.
Yeah.
she definitely wasn't innocent, but he definitely needed to lose his job because that is just crazy.
Yeah.
Wow. What about you, Miss Sum Sum? Do you have any stories like that?
No stories that I could think of offhand.
Well, I got a couple. I got a couple. One of my soldiers, um, his oldest daughter, he found out wasn't his, and he had been paying child support for like 14, 15 years. And he got the debt. And what happened was the mother of the child said in man, well, that child ain't even yours. You stupid for paying child support. Why would you say something like that? Why would you say something like that? So, but he, that's his child, but he got hemmed up that way. In another case, somebody thought they were somebody who thought that he was the father found out that he may not have been the father, and Apple knows what I'm talking about. But um, and that kind of you know that kind of out the whole window. But yeah, it's with the problem is a lot of us are having children out of wedlock. I mean, that's a fact. Things happen. People, and it's not, with infidelity, it's at parity. It's like 30% men, 25% women. So people do it. It's just, but if you're going to do that, just wear a condom or something. Don't just have your don't have your willy out there any old way, and just do what you gotta do. It be decent about yourself. Now I'm the last person to say that because I ain't even halfway decent sometimes. But that was one of the things that caught my attention. And you know I also want to talk a little bit about on a show we did about 6 7 months ago. We talked about dress code. I mean dressing. And some people fake well say you can wear what you want. Some people like, well, you're probably a bit too old for that. Now that's my next question. Are you ever too old to wear certain things? Now I'm gonna start this off by saying, as a guy, I ain't gonna wear speedos. At my old age, I ain't gonna wear speedos. Um, that's for and plus they ain't made for black folks, but that's another story. But yeah, I'm not gonna wear speedos. I'm not gonna wear, there's certain things I'm not gonna sag, and I'm not gonna walk around with an A shirt on and sagging jeans. That should stop when you about at the most 18, but that's my personal opinion. What do you think? What do you think, Big Al? What is the age for a guy to stop wearing, and what should guys stop wearing at a certain age?
Well, for me, I just think sagging, there's not no age assigned to that. We just all just pull our britches up like the old men used to say, and you shouldn't sag. But for me, I would never wear skinny jeans or tight fitting attires.
You don't want to have that moose knuckle, Big Al?
Well, I don't want people to know why they really call me Big Al. But I think that are things that are age inappropriate for both men and women. Uh, Back in the day, we all know older men who used to have that shirt unbuttoned all the way down to their navel with big gold chains and things. Uh, no, 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 no. And if there's a mother who has children, then there are certain things that I think are too risque or too revealing that in my own mind are inappropriate. And I think a mother who has children should be more conservatively dressed, other than in the confines of her home and her bedroom with her man, her husband, or whoever. So
All right.
that's my 2 cents.
All right. Miss Andreen, you there? Are you there, Miss Andreen? I know you were cooking earlier, but I guess not.
Yes, I'm there. I got to figure out how to unmute. All right.
Okay.
So, of course, I disagree with Big Al. I think you're a part of the patriarchy, and your mind has been colonized where you feel why are there certain standards for anyone? And I feel like you dress however you feel comfortable, whatever that may be.
So if he's walking around, if he's walking around in booty shorts, it's
I
okay.
mean, it is. And it's funny because my mind is also colonized and I find myself judging women and men. But at the end of the day, it's arbitrary. And if that person is comfortable and able to handle whatever the reaction or the reflection they're going to get, I just think age doesn't necessarily have anything to do with it. I feel like there's always decency and order depending on where you're going. You don't want to go to, I mean, wherever you're not going to a banquet or a fancy party in a two-piece, but nowadays they do that anyway. Now that to me is it's just not right time and place match. But
But
is
is
that to
it?
say they can't wear that?
No. He didn't say he didn't. He said that he wouldn't wear that. But is there an age limit to kind of what do you wear? That's the thing. It's not, like you
I
said,
mean,
grown folks are gonna wear what they're gonna wear, but there's a certain age
I
that
think I used to think that probably, but now that I like know better, I'm trying to be better and do better. And who put that thought in my brain? And why is
your
it that I even feel
parents.
that way? Right, because they're a part of the patriarchy and listening to whatever society perceives as normal and appropriate and quote unquote. So yes, there is appropriateness. Is there a restriction on what you should wear based on maybe location, but based on age, no. I don't think there should be. Now, would I prefer if someone of a certain body type not wear a certain thing? Yes, that's my preference. But if they're comfortable in their skin and able to handle the stares or whatever they're going to get and deal with that, I say let them go for it. I say who am I to judge? And I feel like it goes back to that's why I'm wrestling with the whole Jamal Bryant and the dress, flesh tone dress with that wife situation. Yeah, she's a first lady, but I mean, I and in my mind, because I am also colonized, I think, geez, I'm not sure how appropriate was. But he went on to pulpit and said he picked the dress and he was
Yeah,
comfortable with the women.
I was saying that's my frat brother, but I say he messy, but that's that like you said, that might be my colonization. But
Yeah.
if he like it, I love it.
Right.
That's my take on that.
I think my only problem with it, I feel like they're just running with the attention they got from it. It's almost like when you're not letting it die. It's not that it wouldn't die, but then you're going to speak on it again in the pulpit. Let it be. If you're so comfortable and you're okay with it as a husband and she was okay with it, why are we going on the Tamara Hall show to discuss this? But that could be their way of marketing or, I don't know, riding what is that? The wave of popularity or whatever,
Yeah,
notoriety.
yeah. No, you have a point. Um, Apple, what do you think? What do you think about what Miss Andreen was saying?
I totally agree with her. I think people, no matter the age, gender, color, and whatever, you should be able to wear what you want to wear.
Yeah, no, and here's the thing. It's like you should wear what you want to wear, but you can't, you know, you can control what you wear, but you can't control how other people react to what you wear. That's kind
Well,
of
yeah, no, that's fair. And like she said, if you're doing it because you truly feel comfortable in your skin and you can take the criticism and you don't care about all of that, then that's fine. But if you're doing it just for the attention or just to be contrary, you want somebody to give you attention or negative or positive, so you can argue with them, then no, then that's not right. But if you, I seen on one of these apps, I believe it was TikTok, the woman was 75 years old, and me at 52, she put me to shame. Body was
You
T.
talking about that black bodybuilder?
Yes.
She lives around here. She lives in DC area.
And then, I mean, am I, because she's 75 years old, to tell her what to wear and what not to wear if she looks good in it and she feels good in it?
No. I mean, she's okay. I'll put it like this: for every rule, there's an exception.
Well, yeah,
But
that's true too. But also, I think it depends on the person. If I, people told me at 30 years old that I couldn't wear certain things. And because I was a mother or what have you, I told them to kiss my hindquarters because I'm gonna wear what I want to wear. I don't care. And then if what I'm wearing is not making you cold or warming you up, why do you care? If you don't like how I look, avert your gaze.
Miss Nikki said women should not be wearing sleep bonnets in public. Now, I agree with that. I was never when I was a teenager, I used to wear a do-rag outside. You know how that go. But yeah. And pajama bottoms. I guess that's the thing now. Bonnets and pajama bottoms. Like you just got out of bed and ran outside. Ain't got nothing else to do. Miss Kim, what do you think?
Um, yeah, people can wear what they want to wear, but for me, I'm not dressing like my 25-year-old. I don't, me and her got two different styles. I'm not, I just, I guess because of my age, I just dress on a more mature level. If I like it and it looks good on me, because I do look in the mirror, and if I see it's not hitting it right, I'm not walking out in public in it. Because I
Yeah.
do, I do a fit check because I want my clothes to fit right and I want to be presentable. And it's based on where I'm going, and if I'm going to work, I look one way. If I'm going out on the town, I look another way. And if I'm just going shopping, I'm jeans, sweatshirt, or whatever. But it's just whatever I like, I'm gonna put it on. But I'm gonna do the fit check. If it ain't looking right, and I don't do the revealing type clothes either, because I respect who I am, and I don't want it all hanging out because it ain't for everybody to see. So that's just how I am.
No, I look, like I said, and I think we're all in agreement that, people can wear what they want to wear, but everybody has their own internal what they won't wear, or something that at their level of maturity they ain't gonna wear.
Yeah, because I always say, just because it come in your size, you really shouldn't wear it. I don't think everybody got mirrors in the house.
Oh, I think some people are vampires. They can't even see their reflection. Looking like a looking like a roadkill or a car accident. Miss Sum, what about you?
Hey, sorry, I'm trying to get it together. um, okay, so unfortunately we live in a society um where a lot of the times first impressions are everything, and how you come into a job interview, how you walk into a room, how you present yourself, how you speak, how you carry yourself, all of that is being noticed. And you know, it's what I try to instill in my daughter is there is a time and place for everything. Okay. And when you go to work, uh, that's your work attire. That's when you can wear your suits and do all that good stuff. And when you hanging out, there's a time and place for all of that too. but the level of respect that you receive when you're in these spaces depends on how you carry yourself. And that's period.
Right.
So, um, with that being said, that's how I was raised. That there's a time and place for everything. So I try to instill that in my children. And, hopefully, because what I'm trying to tell them is that a lot of the times, the bosses and the higher ups and everybody is my age and over. And I know how I was raised. And at that time, that was what was required. You would have classes where they would have you prep for job interviews, and you come in a tie, and you sit up straight, and there's eye contact, and you speak well, and no it's, you think about what you're going to say and then you say it, so you prep for all of those things. And I
Right.
try to tell my kids that those people that are hiring, they're my age, so I know what they're looking for. You know what I'm saying? And I'm trying to prep them. So
But you know what
anyway,
though? You know what, Miss Summerall? A lot of times, and this is just they're not they're not being trained like that in school. Because I know when I was in high school many years ago, we had classes on how to write a resume, how to interview, like you said, how to dress, and what to present. And a lot of the fraternities and sororities do that with the young people. They do have workshops and showing you what to wear, what not to wear, what to say, what not to say, how to sit. Because sometimes even how you sit in an interview, people look at you like look at you sideways. But Miss Kim, you got your hand up. You were going to say something?
Sorry, I thought I was off mute. I know we're talking about dress, but also hair. Um, do you still have the picture of the lady that lost her job because of her hair?
I thought she just got sent home. I thought she
No,
just got
she
sent
did
home.
lose her job. They did fire her because she didn't take it down. And she does have a case that she's taking them to court. I did find that out today.
Hold
Do
on,
you
I
still
got
have the
the
picture?
yeah, I got the video. Give me a second.
Okay.
and it's funny you bring up hair too, because the sisters had to fight to wear their natural hair. And as a matter of fact, they had a law, I think it's the Crown
The
Act.
Crown Act. They just repealed it.
Wow.
Yeah, they just repealed it. But here's what Miss Kim was talking about.
I mean, I got to stay off from work for another week or so until I take this hair out because they been sending me home. Why? They said I cannot go to work with my hair like this. You can't blame them. Well, you can get it redone. You just won $1,000. I seen you post a ticket on Facebook. Exactly right. So I can go and get my hair done how I want to get it done. But anyway, I just feel like I got a lawsuit. What you say?
Girl, if you don't get your
I was gonna stop it there because that's
Oh, wait, what do you say? What do you say?
hold on. Let me bring it back up.
This lady is from my hometown, y'all.
Get it done. But anyway, I just feel like I got a lawsuit. What you say?
girl, if you don't get your Kellogg's cornflakes logo head ass on soon.
I got to stay off from work for another week.
She looked like the rooster. You know, the rooster on the cartoon.
Look like Foghorn Leghorn.
Yes.
I see.
But yeah, they did eventually fire her because she would not take it down and do something different.
Wait a minute. Did you say they repealed the Crown Act?
Yeah, they repealed it. Trump put an executive order. I don't know if that does that, but yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like that's ridiculous. And
But
even her
it's
hair, if she's happy like that and that's her hair, why are we policing people's hair? If she can do
It's
her
not her
job
hair.
and be effectively, it's
It's
what?
that's
weave.
Even if it's a weave, if that's how she chooses to wear her and spend her money, why is that an issue? I'm so confused by that. Especially if it doesn't impact your role or your performance depending on what you're doing.
yeah,
Because
if she was on the fence
society,
trying to, crone every morning, yeah, it's perfect job for her.
Yeah.
I mean, I
society,
They
think
didn't like for her to wear it like that as an RN in the hospital. So
that's a,
they
and
sent her
I don't think
society
that
home,
got
sees
told her to
anything to
that.
take
do
it
with
down.
RN.
She wouldn't take it down. So that's why she got
Mhm.
a lawsuit.
How did that impact her being able to do her RN duties? I don't even see you working with your hands. You
Because
working
society deems that as ghetto, and
and
they
but that's what
don't
I'm
want.
saying. Why are we listening to if she is qualified, she already has her RN degree. Do you see how crazy that sounds for us to even I don't even know why, which is just the insanity of the matter. Why is it a discussion?
Mhm.
Unless she's not meeting her role, I don't care what her hair looks like. Because I just feel like these things don't happen to white women, even if it's not a weave. And whatever, however their hair look, they keep it moving and
Well,
do their job.
with white women, it's more of if you got that, if they don't really care about color, but there's certain styles that they don't want them to wear. Like if you got a white woman with a mohawk, they probably tell her to take it down.
I have
Um,
never ever heard of such a thing. I only hear of these things with black women. I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but I'm just saying, like, as black people ourselves, we need to be mindful of as to the judgments that we are the power of these people that we're allowing to judge something that really has nothing to do with them nor the role, especially if she's a nurse. Like, what the
and
what?
that's the thing. I'm not arguing. I mean, everybody has a point. My thing is that, and you're right. You should wear whatever. Like it goes back to, yeah, you got. But if you work in somewhere and they say don't do this, I don't care if it's I don't care if that's she should be able to wear that. But if they tell her, if they paying your check and they tell you don't wear it, you don't wear it.
No, I don't think we do that because when we fall into the trap of bowing down to this, that's when you get into unequitable mess. And that's when we allow people that have the power to continue with this control and this brainwashing because we're allowing them. So she should sue. And
She
there's
is
no reason
suing.
she shouldn't get her job back. It
She
would be different if it was a tire because you're unsafe at work. I get that. But if this hair is not impacting your duties or your job, they just don't like to look at it because aesthetically they characterize it as ghetto or unpleasing to them. That is by all means un-American and ridiculous. And
and
that just falls into the white patriarchy. And for us to say, and for you to even open your lips to be like, well, if that's the job and that's what they say because that's how they pay her. No, that sounds like slavery to me again.
yeah.
Because the job was for us to be on the plantation, and that's what they say, and they're gonna beat us. No, we're not doing that. It's 20. What is this? 2026. Those days are over. The economy is going to hell in a handbasket anyway.
I
So
I agree with
we
you
need
there,
to
Andreen
stand
X.
our ground and figure out a way to let these people know that we're over this.
All right, Andreen Farrakhan.
Yes.
Miss Apple has something to say.
Just think about it, and this is not going to be popular. A few years ago, if you had locks in your hair, that was considered unkempt
Exactly.
and unprofessional. You
Exactly.
Yeah.
know, even extensions, afro, your natural hair that grows out of your head. If you didn't
Yeah.
have it fried, dyed, and laid to the side, that was considered unkempt, unprofessional, and
Or
ghetto.
unprofessional. Now, like Big Al and I, and Miss Sum Sum to a point, uh, we we grew up in a different world. In the military, you can't do crazy hair like that, whether you're black, white, or indifferent. Um, and I guess that's where I was looking at it from the thing I was looking at it from, because I couldn't do this until 10 years ago. I couldn't show this lovely beard. I had to keep it clean. And if y'all didn't know, the Department of War slash Defense, um, a lot of black men have shaving profiles, because and a profile is something that's, it's an exception to the rule. And when black men shave a lot, they get those razor bumps, and sometimes they get infected. So up until about 2021, from 2021 to just last year, they can have a beard to keep, the hair growing out, to keep the ingrown hairs from coming out. And we suffer from that more than any other race. Like I said, I understand what y'all saying about the hair, but like I said, I'm coming from a different, I'm coming from a different perspective, because that's what we,
Yeah, a colonized mindset, but you can't help
well,
that with
it
the
was part of
work
my
and
job
travel.
description.
And I get that.
I couldn't blow it out like I couldn't have a Jackson 5 afro. Well, not like I can have one now,
And
but
then I mean, I feel like because the standard is for everyone across the board, especially with the shaven head, I get it. Um, and that's a different type of situation, different type of hierarchy. But I feel like if they're allowed to have hair, but you're going to dictate how I should style my hair different from the way it grows out of my head, or how I should style my hair just to aesthetically please you, that's a problem. If
oh
you're
no,
telling me all nurses got to be bald headed and all that, okay, then I know when I'm going into that role, I can't even have hair. But if you're saying it's all right for some to have whatever hair they have and me to, my hair is going to be policed, that's a problem.
yeah, I mean, but like I said, you're right. It goes back to, this goes back to it's a systemic thing. And
Mhm.
we just got to keep fighting to get our image to stop being negative. And it's not our fault, but we
I
do.
don't think the good thing is, I think our current commander in chief is doing a great job of tearing it all down and destroying it all. So I just feel like we need to be aware of when we rebuild, we know how to move now. Because there's no reason to try to integrate with people that don't want you around anyway. Because to me, they're
And
at the
when
point where
we
they're
try to
they're
separate,
feeling
though, I'm saying when we
what?
try to separate, they follow us.
Well, we don't have to try to separate. We need to build for ourselves and
That's
make
what I'm
sure we
saying.
figure out
Every
how we're
time
going
we
to
try,
move.
they burn it down. Like, come on now.
I think that's and I feel like that could be part of it. So we need to be prepared for that burn down, just like they are.
I I acknowledge your point. But on that note, ladies and gents, it's coming to the end of our show. I want to This was a very live discussion. I didn't really have anything to start, but it was good. It was good. I had good audience participation. It was lively. I want to thank everybody on the show tonight in the Zoom room. Miss Apple, you got anything before we go?
This was fun. And I apologize if I offended anyone, cut anyone off, but this was really fun for me tonight. And I thank you guys for engaging and just always every week, just keeping it so interesting. Just thank you and have a good night.
And remember, ladies and gents, don't forget to tell a phone or tell a friend that DFG and crew, the corner is back again. Uh, let's do this again next week, next Tuesday night, 8:30 p.m. on my channels. And if you can't laugh at yourself, find somebody else to laugh at. Y'all do well, and y'all be good, and do it like it should. On the behalf of myself, DFG, Chocolate Pearl, Apple, and Bean, We want to thank you for watching our show. Please come back, like, share, and subscribe. Peace.